right, so we've got 5 gallons and we're going from gallons to pint. Of course, we know with all our measurements, we go horse to fly, we multiply. So let's not forget that. We know we go horse to fly, multiply. Okay, I've already drawn my king gallon with his 4 queens, and each queen has 2 princes, and each prince has 2 cats. I'm going from gallons to pints, so I'm going to look and see how many pints are in 1 gallon. 1 gallon is 2 pints, okay? So all I have to do is do 5 times 2, and that's going to give me 10 pints. Okay, Molly went to the store and paid $17.99 for shorts, $8.50 for a shirt, and $5.63 for earrings. It says, how much did she spend in all? In all means that I'm going to be adding. So I've already lined them up as I said them by decimal point. I'm going to go ahead and drop my decimal point down so I don't forget. I'm going to do 9 plus 3 is 12. Carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 6 is 21. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 plus 5 is 22, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So she spent $32.12. And then number 3 goes back to number 2. It says she paid with a $50 bill. How much change did she get back? So if she paid with a 50, I have to remember that a decimal point goes at the end of a whole number. Now I can line my numbers up by the decimal point. And when I'm looking to see how much did she get back, that means I'm going to be subtracting what she spent from the $50. So I know I'm going to subtract. I'm going to line it up by the decimal point, and I'm going to put my 12 over here. I'm going to go ahead and drop my decimal point down. Now, a common mistake that a lot of kids make is you just automatically bring down 12 cents. But that's not true. If I have nothing, I can't take something from it. So I'm going to put my zeros here because that's how I'd write $50 with decimal points. Now I'm going to have to borrow and regroup in order to subtract. I know I can't do 0 minus 2, so that is going to become a 9 because I'm borrowing 1 from it. That becomes a 10. Because I borrowed from this one, I got to borrow from that one. And because I borrowed from this one, I got to borrow over here as well. Now I can subtract. So I've got 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 1 is 10. I'm adding. 9 minus 1 is 7. 9 minus 2, 9 minus 1 is 8. I'll get it right here in just a second. The rain is getting to me outside. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. So she would get back $17.88. Now I could add those back to check my work. 8 plus 2 is 10, carry. Then I would have 2 plus 8 is 10 again, carry. 3 plus 7 is 10, and carry again. And that would be 3 plus 2 is 50. So when I say it right and subtract it right, I get $17.88. Okay, moving on to number 4, very gently here. Okay, when it says 2, what is the area? I know that area is length times width. So I know when I see what is the area of a room, I know I'm going to have to be multiplying. And it says that I have 2 1/4 foot by 2/3 foot. Okay, we know of and by in math means times. So I can do this a couple of ways. I could decompose 2 1/4 and multiply them both by 2/3 and then add them back together. So I'll do that first. So I could do 2 times 2/3 plus 1/4 times 2/3, which is going to give me 4/3 plus 2/12. When I do it this way, I do have to come up with a common denominator. I know that 3 can go into 12, so I'm going to do 4/3 equals how many over 12? Well, I know 3 times 4 is 12. So I would multiply by 4/4. That gives me 16/12. So 16/12 plus 2/12 gives me 18/12. And then, of course, I need to pull out my whole from there. Or I could do 18 divided by 12, which is going to give me 1 whole. And if I pull out 12/12 out of there, that leaves me with 6/12. I know that 6 and 12 have a common factor of 6, so I could divide by 6/6 to simplify and get 1 and 1/2. So I could decompose it, or I can change 2 and 1/4 to an improper fraction and then multiply it by 2/3. So that would be 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 1, which is 9, which would give me 9/4 times 2/3, multiplying straight across. 9 times 2 is 18. 4 times 3 is 12. Again, that gives me the 18/12 I had when I decomposed it that way. I still get 18/12. I know that 12 can go into 18 one whole time. 12 is my denominator. 18 minus 12 is 6. That leaves me with 1 and 6/12. And we already know from down here they have a common factor of 6. So when I simplify by dividing those both by 6, I end up with 1.5 square feet. Okay, and why did our answer get smaller than the whole number? Well, our rule says that if we have a number less than 1 times a number greater than 1, that our product will be greater than the fraction, but smaller than the whole number. So don't forget those rules, they come in handy. Okay, which of the following describe a square? Select all. Well, if we remember our rules about a square, okay, if I draw a little square over here, does it have 4 right angles? Well, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 4 right angles. Does it have 1 set of parallel lines? Well, if I extend those, there's 1 set. If I extend these, that's 2 sets. So it doesn't have only 1, so B is out. 4 equal sides? Sure does. So a square has 4 right angles, 4 congruent sides. Quadrilateral means it has 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a quadrilateral. Not a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides, so it cannot be a pentagon. And we already said if it doesn't have 1 pair of parallel lines, it has 2 pairs of parallel lines. So A, C, D, and F.